Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Sarah here. I wanted to say hello. I missed you all so very much. Hey, Patrick. Hi, Jaden. Hey, John. Jamira Call. Deep. Ivy. Iman and Jose. Hi, everyone. I missed you guys so much. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I wanted to do something a little special today, something different to try. I miss reading to you guys, so today I just wanted to read. My teacher sleeps in school. If you guys want to just listen to the story, that would be great. It says, "Goodbye, Miss Marsh. I'll see you all tomorrow." Mrs. Marsh went back into the school and everyone began walking home. So far, all the students just finished the day at school and they are walking home. "I think the teacher sleeps in school," said Molly. "I think she stays there all night long." "What a dumb idea," said Gary. "Teachers don't sleep in school." "Mrs. March does," said Molly. "She's always there when we come, and she's always there when we leave. I think the classroom is her house." So the two of them are having a conversation, thinking their teacher sleeps at school. Now, do you think that is silly, boys and girls? Do you think teachers sleep at school? Yes or no? "Why don't you ask her?" stared Gary. "I did once," said Molly. And she just laughed and laughed. But she didn't say yes or no. "But where would she sleep?" said Gary. "Where would she eat?" "Look around the room for clues tomorrow," said Molly. "Maybe we'll find out." So Gary and Molly are gonna look tomorrow in the classroom to see if she really sleeps at school. The next day, Gary could hardly do his work. He kept watching Mrs. March and wondering, "What if it's really true?" he whispered to Molly. "What if she really lives here?" Pretty soon, Lisa and Jason were wondering too. "Where does she keep her clothes?" said Jason. "In the closet, of course," said Lisa. "Behind the paste and paper. Come on." And look at them, they're all working, but they're not focusing. They're so curious to find out if she lives in school. At playtime, when Mrs. March wasn't looking, they opened the door. "Look!" whispered Lisa. "A towel and soap and a mirror!" squealed Gary. "I'll bet she gets dressed in the closet too," said Molly. "And undressed too," giggled Lisa. So now they're all snooping in her closet. They're like, "Uh-oh, you know what? I think she lives here." Can you boys and girls predict? Are you agreeing with Gary and Molly that she lives in school, or are you thinking that's a very silly idea? "I bet she wears funny pajamas," said Gary. "And gloppy cream on her face," said Jason. They pictured Mrs. March in her pajamas and couldn't stop laughing. So they're all giggling and picturing her at nighttime, taking off her work clothes, hanging out in her PJs, reading a book. That is sure silly, right? It's very silly. Next, they tiptoed over to the play kitchen. "I saw her hide 2 bags in here this morning," said Molly. "More proof." What is proof, boys and girls? What does proof mean? Think about that. Talk with your mom or dad and see, what does proof mean? Said Gary in a loud whisper. "It's paper plates and napkins and lots of forks and spoons. She must be having company." "I see cake mix and eggs in this bag," whispered Lisa. "She must be baking a real cake." "I think she cooks her supper here every night," said Molly. "That oven is only make-believe," said Jason. She can make it work," said Molly. "Teachers can do anything." Then they thought about where Mrs. March ate her supper and did her laundry and brushed her teeth before she went to bed. But where did she sleep? That was still a mystery, so they're trying to figure out. She does cooking here, she dries her clothes here. Where is she going to sleep in the classroom? Where? "Maybe she sleeps on the bookshelf," suggested Gary. "Or on the piano," said Molly. They looked and looked, but they couldn't find any clues. Then after lunch, everyone was getting ready for an art project. When Mrs. March was in the closet getting paper, Gary snooped behind her desk. "There's something under here," he whispered. "Come and see." A pair of slippers. And a pillow. She must sleep under her desk. We never thought of that. "I told you so," said Gary. "She really does sleep in school." "Poor Mrs. Marsh," sighed Lisa. "I bet it's lonely here at night and creepy." Then Molly had an idea. "Let's leave her a good night snack," she said. "And a nice note," said Jason, "and something cuddly to sleep with." Right, we all have our little, cuddly. To sleep with, said Lisa. Gary had part of a sandwich left over from lunch. Jason had saved her 6 potato chips for later. Lisa got the teddy bear ready out of her cubby. Molly was in charge of the note, so now they're working as a team to make sure their teacher will be comfortable and happy since they think she sleeps in the school. "Surprise," she wrote. "We know you sleep here. Good night. Sleep tight." Gary promised to keep everything a secret, but soon the whole class knew. Everyone started to giggle and whisper, "Hee." Mrs. Marsh looked puzzled. "What is going on here today, huh?" But nobody answered. By 3 o'clock, Molly had wrapped up the goodnight package, and then Gary snuck it under her desk. Uh-oh. What do you think is going to happen? Is she going to come out and be like, what is this? What are you guys doing? Right? The next day, everyone got to school extremely early. They couldn't hardly wait to hear what Miss Marsh had to say. But all she said was, "We're going on a mysterious trip today." A mystery trip, sorry. And she wouldn't tell them where, not even a hint. Everyone got on the school bus. They rode and they rode. At last, they stopped at a white house with a blue door. Why would they stop at a house with a blue door? What do you think? What is Miss Marsh trying to show them? Think about that. "This is where I live," announced Mrs. Marsh. Gary looked at Molly. Molly looked at Lisa. Lisa looked at Jason. They were all like, then they followed Mrs. Marsh inside. Mrs. Marsh showed them where she cooked her supper and did her laundry and brushed her teeth before she went to bed. How silly they are right now. They're probably like, "Oh no, I can't believe it." Right? Silly, silly. "And this," said Mrs. Marsh, "is where I sleep." Where would you sleep? On a couch or on a bed? Where would you sleep, guys? I think a bed, right? "Every night," said Molly. "Every night," said Mrs. Marsh. Then she showed them her children's room. "You even have children?" said Lisa. "Yes," said Mrs. Marsh. "They're in school all day, just like you. When my husband and I get home from work, we're all together as a family." "Just like us," said Molly. "Now follow me," said Miss Marsh. "I have saved the best for last." There's her bed. And she's showing them the kids' room. Oh. She led the class into her dining room. There were paper plates and napkins from the shopping bags at school. "I've been planning this special treat for the class," said Mrs. Marsh. "Ooh," said Molly. "We thought." "I know what you thought," said Mrs. Marsh. Then Mrs. Marsh brought a big cake. And just like that, and just like Molly's note, it said, "Surprise!" "I baked this last night," said Mrs. Marsh. "I baked it in my own oven in my own kitchen. And after that, I went to sleep in my own real what? Bed." So there's the paper plates and napkins, and there's the big cake that says "Surprise." Gary gave Molly a poke. "I knew it all this time," he bragged. "Teachers never sleep in school." Molly didn't even answer him. She was like, look at her face. "I know, I was wrong." Mrs. Marsh was smiling at her in a special way. "Molly," she said, "would you help me cut the cake?" Mrs. Marsh served everyone a piece with a heart on it. They all got a piece of cake with a heart on it. And she saved the biggest heart for Molly. The end, boys and girls. Once again, this is My Teacher Sleeps in School. I hope you really enjoyed this book. This is one of my favorite books to read. I get a kick out of it every time I read it because it's so silly, right? But I hope you enjoyed me reading this book with you, and I'm glad that you guys were a part of it and you listened and answered some questions. But I miss you guys. I hope you all are being safe and enjoying a lot of time with your family and your siblings. You know, make sure you get some fresh air outside, some sun when it's nice out, and definitely spend some quality time. Play some games, color, draw, enjoy yourselves. And I do miss you, and I hope this will all eventually be resolved, right? Until next time, I'm going to start this up. I'll be reading a story, and I'll be sending you all the link to join me in reading an awesome book. But you all take care. Miss you guys. Hugs. Bye.